हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। Good afternoon everyone. I Priyanka Kalal, internee of Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Hubli. It's my honor to welcome you all to Pratigya 2020, a national webinar on exam-oriented syllabus-based Kaumara Bhratya Symposium for undergraduate. A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. So here, I call upon Shrava and Shivani to sing Dhanvantari Stavana and fulfill this occasion with positive vibes.
ॐ नमामि धन्वन्तरिम् आदिदेवं सुरासुरैर्वन्दितपादपद्मम् लोके जरारुभयमृत्युनाशम् धातारमीशं विविधौषधीनाम् धन्वन्तरिं रमानाथम् सर्वरोगनिवारकम् आयुर्वेदप्रवक्तारम् वन्दे पीयूषदायकम्। सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you, Shrava and Shivani. Now I request Dr. Aisha Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Kaumara Bhratya, to welcome you all and to introduce our dignitaries who are on the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sarve Santu Niramaya. By the blessings of Lord Dhanvantari, today myself, Dr. Aisha Kazi, Assistant Professor, Department of Kaumara Bhratya, welcome you all for today's online session of webinar Pratigya 2020, an exam-oriented, syllabus-based Kaumara Bhratya Symposium for undergraduate. As we all know, digitalization has become a biggest tool for changing the society in present crucial time of COVID-19. So here, with small contribution of Pratigya 2020, that is a pledge for healthy teaching, we from the Department of Kaumara Bhratya welcome you all for 35 days of online webinar series. It's my pleasure to extend a healthy welcome for our today's chief guest, Dr. S.K. Bannigold sir, with a short introduction. Dr. S.A. Bannigold sir has joined for a service in 1986 at Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Hubli. Sir has completed his BSAM from BMK Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Belgaum and MD Ayurveda in Shalyatantra at most prestigious IPGTR Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar. Sir is pioneer of Kshara Sutra, popularized in Kshara Sutra and ligation procedure in Arshas and Bagandhar. Sir was nominated for Central Council of Indian Medicine for 2 consecutive periods, then Faculty of Indian System of Medicine from RGHS for 3 consecutive periods. Later, Sir became Executive Member of CCIM. Sir was member of various academic committees of RGHS like BOS member of UG and BOS member of PG Ayurveda. Now, Sir is presently holding the post of Dean of Indian System of Medicine. Sir has published many articles in various national and international journals. Sir has awarded with many awards from RGHS, Bangalore. A warm welcome to you, sir. Now I request Dr. Tyagaraja sir to welcome sir by giving a flower. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to welcome President of today's event and Principal of Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Hubli, Dr. A.S. Prashant, sir. Dr. A.S. Prashant, sir, has completed his undergraduation from Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Hubli, Karnataka University, Dharwad, with first rank and gold medal, and post-graduation in Thai Chikitsa from prestigious Government Ayurved College, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. Sir was BOS member for post-graduation in Ayurveda at RGHS between 2009 to 2012. Sir is presently holding the post of Chairman for Board of Studies UG Ayurveda at RGHS Bangalore. Sir is presently recognized CCIM member. Sir is the winner of Kurdikeri Memorial Gold Medal and Dr. P.V. Jayade Gold Medal for High Academic Performance. Sir has published more than 150 research papers in various journals and international magazines and written Ayurvedic books in Kannada and Malayalam. A warm welcome to you, sir. I request Dr. Manjula ma'am to welcome Dr. A.S. Prashant, sir, by offering a flower. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Shravya to welcome Dr. Sarita ma'am, HOD, Department of Kaumara Vritya. Thank you, Shravya. Now it's time to inaugurate the event. I request respected dignitaries to inaugurate the event by Deepa Prajwalana and Pushpa Archana to Lord Dhanvantari. I wish the webinar be successful and reach its goal. Now I request Dr. Priyanka to continue the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. S.K. Banigol, sir, Dean ISM, RGUHS Bengaluru, to address the gathering.
Both I Om Sri Dhanvantari Namaha. At the outset, I extend all of you a belated happy 6th International Yoga Day. And also, I congratulate the management, principal, and all the staff member of HASS Ayurved Mahavidyalaya Hingeri, Hubli for conducting this particular webinar, that is Pratigna 20. I hope that all of you know, because of COVID-19, lot of changes have been seen. One amongst them is seminar to webinar. So everybody is conducting all types of seminars, workshops, symposia online through webinar. This is one positive thing which has been happened because of this COVID-19. It is very informative, very convenient, very cost effective to everybody. So this opportunity has been, again, apart from one of the greatest advantage of COVID-19 is the Ayush system of medicine has came to streamline. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has taken the name of Ayush in Sapta Sutras. And apart from that, on many other occasions, he has conveyed to the world that for this present COVID-19, as well as to other diseases which are seen and the world is suffering from that condition, Ayush systems have a greater role to play. So this is an opportunity for all of us to capitalize this opportunity and bring Ayurveda to the streamline. This Pratigna 2020, as it has been told, that the theme of this Pratigna 20 is to cover the whole syllabus of Kaumara Bhritya, and the resource persons, not only from Karnataka, from other states, will deliver the lectures on syllabus points, which is of most welcome because the students will be exposed to the knowledge of the experts, Kaumaribhutta faculty, which are being teaching, they are being teaching the students in the various parts of the countries. So this is a great opportunity for all the students, undergraduate as well as postgraduate, and even to the faculty also to upgrade themselves, that the knowledge is assimilated to everyone as far as the Kaumaribhritya subject is concerned. As you know, there should be always changes in the education system. Lot of changes are to be made. Ayurveda, as you know, is a medical profession with its own recognition. The mention of Ashtanga Ayurveda, that is the 8 clinical specialty branches, itself will show that how much advanced this Ayurvedic medical science was there in the older period itself. Amongst this Ashtanga Ayurveda, Balaroga or Kaumaribhritya is considered as one of the Anga, the clinical branch. Surprisingly, the Prasuti Striroga subject has been left out while mentioning the Ashtanga Ayurveda. But It is not that deliberately it has been left out, but the scholars then thought that it has to be incorporated with Kaumari Bhritya only, because the beginning of a life of an individual starts even before the conception, and for which Prasuti and Stri Roga is also playing a greater role. Hence, Kaumari Bhritya has its integral part as Prasuti and Stri Roga. And this particular Pratigna 20 is aims at giving a standard education and uniform education to all the students of Kaumari Bhritya. Hence, this is a sort of an improvement in the teaching methodology in the particular of Kaumari Bhritya subject. As all of you know, the Ayurvedic medicine, it aims at prediction, prevention, promotion, curative and holistic care with compassion. When all these are there, starting from the prediction, if we consider ourselves, concentrate on the subject Kaumari Bhritya, prediction is to have, not to have a Bahu Praja, to have a Supraja. So with that prediction, the Ayurveda begins that for have a Supraja, there is necessity of Rutu, Kshetra, Ambu and Bija. So all these four should be proper. Then only there will be Supraja will be there. So the prediction and prevention methods are there. In prediction, it has been told that if any Bija, Bija Bhaga or Bija Avayava of Sri Bija or Purusha Bija, if those Bija dosha is there, then Supraja is not going to have, there will have congenital anomalies or hereditary diseases will occur. So the prediction is that the Shukra and Shonita should be Shuddha. With that prediction, the conception has to take place to get a better Supraja. So hence, the principal aim of Kaumari Bhritya starts from Bahupraja to Supraja before the conception. And when once either the child is born, according to Kaumari Bhritya, the child has to be subjected for various samskaras. Amongst the Shodasa samskaras, few samskaras are specifically made for Balakas or the Shishu. Immediately after the birth, one samskara is done, that is Jata Karma. So Jata Karma samskara is the most important one, wherein Madhu and Ghruta is given to the newborn child. Not only Madhu and Ghruta, it is mixed with the Suvarna. So Suvarna Yukta Madhu and Ghruta has to be given. Now, all these samskaras which are being done for the child, it is aimed at that the child should be healthy and it should get immunity. With that intention, all these samskaras are being advocated and are being performed. There is one study which has been done in Jamnagar way back, that Madhu and Ghruta are given in a combination of equal quantity. As all of you know, Madhu and Ghruta should not be given in equal quantity because it is a Viruddhahara. But still it has been given in an equal quantity with the intention to see that, as you know, Madhu is a collective from various flowers and it will be having the pollen grains in it. When this Madhu with pollen grains given with the Ghruta, the child gets immunity to various allergic conditions. So it produces antibodies in the child's body that the child will have a very good immunity towards the allergic diseases. And other samskaras which have been mentioned particularly using the Suvarna. Suvarna is believed to be that it increases or gives more strength to the nerve cells. And the development of nerve cells, it is believed that it takes place in the first 6 months or maximum up to 1 year. There will be development of the brain. Hence, during this period, if the samskara with Suvarna is given, then definitely the brain development will be very good, and the IQ of that particular child will definitely increase. With that intention, now Suvarna Prashana is being very popular. It has been given. I have found that the Vacha Suvarna is being practiced, and it is very good immunity booster. So in Vacha, the Suvarna is kept inside it, and it is grounded with this thing, and 1 or 2 or this thing along with the madhu, it is made to lick down. So all said and done, the immunity of the child has to be increased so that the child develops and Vyadhi Nirodhaka Shakti. The definition of Shishu itself, Shishu means Shishu sleeps for a longer period. That's why it is called as Shishu. Shishu, the sleep for the Shishu for a longer period itself gives an immunity to the child. As you know, the immunity or the bala is of 3 types. One is the Janma Jata bala, Rutu Kalajanya bala, that's called the Kalaja bala, and Yuktikruta bala. So now we are trying to give Yuktikruta bala to the child by this Suvarna Prashana. And now, as all of you know, that Suvarna Prashana has become very popular, and it is believed that in Karnataka on that particular day of Suvarna Prashana, as many as nearly 80,000 to 1 lakh children are getting that Suvarna Prashana. That means it has become a popular method of immunity booster to the child. Another important thing which has been mentioned in Kaumari Bhritya is Karna Vedha. It is also one among the Shodas Samskara. The aim of Karna Vedha, which has been mentioned in Sushruta Samhita, in the beginning he mentioned that it is Raksha Bhushana Nimittam. Raksha Bhushana Nimittam. Bhushana means you can wear the very earrings and other things. It gives the Bhushana. But prime importance is Raksha. Raksha means here we are piercing the Karna with a Suchi. That's a Suchi Veda is done. We are creating an wound. So when you are creating the wound, this wound prevents the child from affliction of various grahas. Now you know, whenever the wound is there, usual complication which one encounters is of tetanus. So doing this Karna Vedha, inducing Vruna, that we are preventing the child from getting tetanus, Graha Bhada. So this is also a sort of an immunity giving to the child. Now another importance given in Kaumari Bhritya is regarding to the breastfeeding. Matureva pibestanyam tatparam deha vruddhi. It is considered as one amongst the very best nutritious food, that is the Stanyapana. Of late, due to modernization and mechanical lifestyle, the mother used to avoid giving the breastfeeding. Now it has become a national program that Stanyapana is the most important one. It gives lot of immunity to the child. Hence, Stanyapana is also included in amongst the Jata Karma. Ayurveda says that immediately after the child birth, after making him to lick the Madhu and Ghruta, Stanyapana on the first day itself has to be performed. So the Stanya during that period is having lot of antibodies, and it improves the immunity of the child. Hence, With all these inclusions in Kaumara Bhritya, it is even at this present era, we can say that it is a branch of Kaumara Bhritya, was a complete branch to take care of the health of the newborn as well as to have a supraja to the society. Now, it is the time for all of us to analyze whether it is Kaumara Bhritya or whether it's a whole Ayurveda, any other branch. For its improvement, for its development, one has to do the evolution itself, for which a methodology which has been very popular and which has been told as a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is nothing but to analyzing ourselves. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? And what are the threats to this particular science or this particular branch? The strength of Kaumara Bhritya is already I have told you. These are all the strength of Kaumara Bhritya. And what is weakness? The weakness of, I feel, there is nothing weakness, but others are not in a position to understand Ayurvedic medical profession in the present language. So, our weakness is that we are unable to communicate them in the language which the society is knowing. So, whatever the descriptions which are available, Ayurvedic texts in general, Kaumara Bhritya in particular, we have to revalidate them, document them, do the research, and show to the society that it is not actually nothing new we are coming out. Whatever it has been done, so we are simply revalidating and showing to the society in their understanding, knowledge that this is what it has been told in Ayurveda, even effective in the present area. So that is the weakness, and we have to overcome that weakness by doing lot of research work in the field of Ayurveda. Then what are the opportunity? Opportunity, as you know, the COVID itself is one of the opportunity at present now. So we have got lot of opportunity because the whole world now, it is understood that with a single medical profession, it is not possible to cure the disease as a whole. So integrative approach is need of the hours. Ayurveda, naturopathy, yoga, homeopathy, allopathy. All these systems has to be work integratively to give a wholesome approach to the management. Health for all, which has been announced by WHO long back, but it cannot be achieved. It could not be achieved. It's going on. The goal is set even forward. So, if we want to have a health for all, there should be always an integrative approach. And this is a great opportunity for Ayurveda as well as the people involved in the Kaumara Bhritya, that they must utilize this opportunity and see that Kaumara Bhritya is brought to the mainstream once again as a first line of treatment in various pediatric problems. As I already told you that child immunization is now this Swarna Prashana, we have been tried that it has to be well documented. It has to be incorporated one amongst the immunization, child immunization procedure. The Ayush department of Karnataka state, we had a meeting and they have agreed that a multi-central study will be done with the effect of Swarna Prashana Vidhi, and it is included in a very short period as one of the child immunization procedure compulsorily to be followed. Now, the great responsibility even lies on the teachers and the policy makers of the Kaumara Bhritya is concerned. That is introducing a new type of a dinacharya to the children. Now, you know, we have all grown up. We only advocate that according to Ayurveda, we have to do this and we have to follow this one. Many of us are not following. Forget about it. At least our next generation. Now, what is the dinacharya which have been following? We have to incorporate compulsorily 2 to 3 factors into that one. And this is the basic responsibility of the Kaumara Bhritya people to educate the mother or the parents that apart from what we are doing, at least 2 procedures they must compulsorily ask the children to follow. The children are doing Dantadhavana, and immediately Dantadhavana, one procedure which must to be incorporated is Kavalagraha. So all the children from this day which are born, it is the responsibility of Ayurvedic Kaumarabhidya specialist that you have to perform Kavaladharana to a child daily after brushing. And another important procedure which we should ask the parents to perform to their child is Pratimarshanasya. If these two are incorporated, which now they have become to the streamline because of this coronavirus, that everybody is doing that oil pulling therapy like which has been mentioned in Ayurveda as Kavalagraha, and Pratimarshanasya are of utmost importance to prevent the infection of the corona, because the route of infection for coronavirus either to the nasal cavity or to the oral cavity, and it is common for many of the viruses and bacteria. Hence, to prevent that infection, the nasal mucosa as well as the oral mucosa, by these procedures, if it gets immunity, then the entry of the virus itself can be arrested. Then we have, yesterday only we have followed the 6th International Yoga Day. 6 years back when International Yoga Day was announced, that Ayurveda and yoga got a very big leap because it's a worldwide recognition. To announce one particular thing, there are many world days, we forget about that one. They are not recognized one. For our fancy and our things, we are following various days every day. That is not it. But recognized and accepted by more than 80% of the countries, then only if one thing is considered as International Day. So 6 years back, yoga was considered and announced as an International Yoga Day every year on the 21st of June. We got a lot of boost. Now, we tried that Ayurveda also should become as an International Ayurveda Day, but it is so far not possible. Hence, the Ayush department announced the National Ayurveda Day on the day of Dhanutrayodashi. Every year we are being following. So now there is a controversy. Yoga in children. From which particular age the children should start doing the yoga? Yoga in children is also must. So as I have told in Dinacharya, these things are to be made compulsorily. Yoga should be made compulsory for the child from the beginning itself. Then it will be habituated for performing yoga every day. So yoga in children is not at all contraindicated. If you go through the various descriptions available in regards to Kaumarabhidya, yoga can be performed from the beginning itself. Now the age limit, what the yoga experts say, that from the age of 8 years, one child can start performing the yoga. So yoga should be made as compulsory for the children. Next comes Panchakarma in Kaumarabhidya. If we look into the indications of Panchakarma, I am not an expert in Panchakarma, but it is told that Bala and Vruddha are usually contraindicated in majority of the procedures of Panchakarma. But still there is a lot of scope for performing Panchakarma in children. If you see that in the first day itself, in the text it has been mentioned that child is made to vomit. Vomitam navajatam. Navajata Titu, it has to be vomiting is to be understood. So various procedures of Panchakarma with precautions should be adopted in the pediatric practice also. It has been started, I think I have heard that it has been started in SDM College of Hassan, where the Panchakarmas are being performed in children also. So like that, it should be in all the centers. Yoga, that is Panchakarma for the children has to be started. So now the onus at this junction is on the faculty, postgraduate scholars and the policymakers of Ayurveda, that such things are to be incorporated into the practice. There is many controversial things are also coming. I would not to go into various things. One controversial thing I would like to bring to your notice regarding the Pumsamana Vidhi. Now, this Pumsamana Vidhi has been explained in the Ayurvedic texts. the government of India wrote a letter to the Central Council of Indian Medicine that this Pumsavana Vidhi, it encourages getting male children, that is against the rule of the government at present, that sex determination should not be done, sex should not be done. So they asked us to remove that particular portion from the text itself. It has to be completely removed. But we explained that Pumsavana, even though it is more mentioned as Pumsavana, it is Sri Janana also. Because if you go through the description, it doesn't give that, okay, nomenclature is given as a Pumsavana, but the procedure is equally mentioned for both getting the male progeny as well as the female progeny. So, in that way we prevented, these are the threats. These are the threats for Ayurveda, that some of our procedures either being eradicated or they are being hijacked from other countries, and they will come with an own thing that it is our procedure. So we must be very careful. These are the threats to Ayurveda as well as Kaumara Bhritya. With these few words, I hope that this Pratigna 20 will become a successful. At the same time, I would like to give my hats off to pediatric or Kaumara Bhritya practitioners, because in a humorous way, Kaumara Bhritya is considered as a veterinary practice. Don't take it otherwise, because a child can't speak. He cannot say that what he is suffering from. Here, Anumana is the best examination point of view. Only Darshana and Sparshana, Prashna is not there. So, even in the text it has been mentioned that when the Shishu has got headache, often it touches the head. Like that, various Lakshanas are being mentioned. So, hats off to pediatric practitioners. In spite of that, they are doing a very good job, and many of the Ayurvedic Bala Roga, Chikitsa Vidhanas are being practiced and popularized, for which I congratulate all the persons involved in it. With these few words, I extend my sincere gratitude to the institution as well as Principal Dr. Prashant and his team, and HOD of Kaumara Bhritya Dr. Sarita and Dr. Aisha for engaging this excellent, it's a sort of a webinar workshop on the syllabus of Kaumara Bhritya, wherein the whole syllabus of Kaumara Bhritya will be covered by not only examination point of view, but clinical point of view to all the students of UG and PG Kaumara Bhritya. I once again wish that this Pratigna 20 becomes a grand success. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for letting us to know about samskaras and many more aspects of child growth and development. Now I request Dr. A.S. Prashant, sir, Principal, Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubli, for presidential speech.
Respected my teacher and Dean of Indian System of Medicine at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Dr. Srinivas Banigol sir. Another my teacher and the principal, retired principal of this institution, Dr. B.B. Joshi sir, Dr. Tyagraj sir, and all the other faculty members gathered here, as well as the various resource persons engaged in the Kaumara Bhritya webinar series organized by our Hubli Ayurveda Seva Samiti Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Hubli under the leadership of Dr. Sarita and Dr. Aisha. So resource persons to start with Dr. Bujappa Munalle, who is an alumni of this institution and probably at present is the senior most teacher in the RGHS. Then Dr. Lakshmi Shupadhyaya, Dr. Shailaja, once again, she is our alumni, and the last alumni to speak, that is Nagaratna, that is the beginner, the very first speaker of the session. So I compliment and congratulate all the resource persons for their feedback So this is an aspect of Rajiv Gandhi University Health Sciences third BMS syllabus workshop guided by the apex body, that is CCM. As per the CCM norms, as mentioned in the syllabus, so an exercise has been taken up by the Department of Komar Bhrutya and all the teachers all over the state. And from the out of state, Dr. Srinidhi Acharya, out of university, Dr. Veena and others, they are being participating as well-known, recognized resource persons. So when we go through Komar Bhrutya, Balaroga, Acharya Kashyapa is the father of that particular branch in the Ashtanga Ayurveda, wherein there is a very important statement given by Acharya Kashyapa, that is Vriddha Jivaka Tantra, says that Tatra Vagindriyam tu ekam dvida bhinnam yata karo. So when we study the neuroanatomy, a wonderful observation has been made by Acharya Kashyapa. Vagindriyam tu ekam dvida bhinnam yata karo. Vagindra is one, that is the speech center, but there are two aspects. One is motor speech and the second one is sensory speech. Yata karo, just like left hand and right hand, there are two entities. Ardena Shabdam Grannati, from one side it will receive, that is sensory speech. Ardena Tam Vadati Punaha. So a great observation has been made by Acharya Kashyapa. He has narrated. Likewise, starting from the Navajata Shishu, Paricharya, Stanya Dosha management, probably I believe Ayurveda is the alone system where for the Stanya Dosha identification, its treatment has been widely told in the Shastra. There are wonderful preparations available in the Komar Bhrutya Tantra, just like Kaya Chikitsa. So the dosage schedule is different here. In a very smaller dosage, the medicines are executed. A medicine expert in Western system of medicine, equally he practices Komar Bhrutya or pediatrics also. A pediatrician is having authority to practice medicine. Vice versa, Komar Bhrutya and Kaya Chikitsa, they are interrelated. Likewise, this Komar Bhrutya workshop should, by the end of 35 days, probably the whole July month will take place, and there will be various deliberations. There will be a fruitful event. I believe all the students by the end of the 35th day will carry home message that Komar Bhrutya should be a wonderful subject and that is practicable. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness.
చెవులో పెట్టుకున్న ఖరాబ్ ఏం వినిపిస్తుంది
Associate Professor and in charge HOD, Department of Komara, to present the vote of thanks.
As Epictetus quotes, he is a wise person who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. All of us are well aware of the present pandemic, and we put a temporary pause to all our work. But instead of looking at it as a setback, we should look at it as an opportunity to do all the things that we have been longing to do. As a time to explore new horizons for the potential we all hold hidden inside us. Had it not been for the present pandemic, we should have never come up with this idea of webinar series. Hence, we should always try to make the most of the present situation. Let's be together and grow together. Through this webinar, we have tried to cover the Komara Bhrutya syllabus with respect to its theoretical as well as clinical aspects, aiming to help the UG students to enhance their knowledge as well as to crack the exams. Now, I take the pleasure of thanking all people who have been supporting me to plan and put forth this webinar. First of all, I thank the chairman of our college, Dr. G.S. Naregal sir, for supporting us and blessing us for the webinar. We are so grateful to you, sir, Dr. S.K. Banigol sir, Dean, Indian System of Medicine, RGHS Bangalore, in behalf of Department of Komara Bhrutya and Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Hubballi, thank you for being part of this inauguration function and for your technical and energizing speech, sir. Next, I heartily thank our college principal, Sir Dr. A.S. Prashant, guiding us to start this webinar, encouraging us and being our backbone. I also thank my institution under whose name this webinar will be conducted, the whole of Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubballi. Coming to the heart of this webinar, the speakers who readily agreed to share their knowledge as soon as they were approached, and also gave the positive feedback and suggestion for us to improve and grow. So I thank to all the speakers of this webinar on behalf of Department of Kamara Vritya and Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubballi. An event can take place only by support and coordination by many people. Hence, I share the credit of this event with Dr. Aisha as a subordinate. Also, as a webinar will be conducted on the digital platform. So, I thank my students from Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubballi for giving me the technical support. Last but not the least, I heartily thank on behalf of Kamara Vritya Department and Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubballi, each and everyone who have directly or indirectly helped us and wished us and blessed us for this webinar. Let these webinars act as a guiding light, and I wish the UG students to seek the benefit of this webinar. Thank you and all. Please stay tuned. The next will be the scientific session, begins within 2 minutes. Thank you.